understood about the cell structure and its functions, right? So we have understood what are the different cell organelles which are present in the cell as well. Now I hope you all have a clear idea about the cell structure and its function. In today's session, I have come up with another topic of your class 8 biology. This topic is very important and interesting as well, children. Okay, so keep your concentration towards this video and let us understand today's topic. So the next lesson we are going to understand is the reproduction in organisms. We are going to mainly focus on the reproduction. Okay, so this reproduction, let's get fixed into your mind and let us start the lesson now. Before getting to know about what is reproduction, we have to know that there are so many variety of organisms which are found on the earth, right? There are variety of organisms. We cannot just keep it in our mind. We cannot just say the names of those organisms. That means we cannot say all the organisms names which are found on the earth. There are plenty of organisms which are found on the earth, right? So let us now just mainly categorize those animals or organisms, okay, to understand better. So we can see the organisms which are belonging to the Ncert categories, right? The organism which belonging to the animal categories, and organisms which are also belonging to the plant category. These are some three important categories where under these there are lot more categories which are present, right? So all these variety of organisms, they have their own kind of reproduction. That means they will reproduce in their own kind. A plant cannot reproduce an animal or an animal cannot reproduce an insect, right? Yes? So that is the reason that I told you that all these organisms, they reproduce their own kind of organisms. That is their offsprings. When I say offsprings, that is the next generation. Offsprings are the next generation. Okay, let me give another example. Can an elephant give birth to a dog? Or a dog can give birth to a cat? No, right? They will give birth to their own kind. So that is what exactly we call it as their offsprings. So in this lesson, now let us mainly focus on the reproduction. And to make you all to understand very easy, we are connecting reproduction with human beings in this lesson. That means we are going to understand the reproduction in human beings. Why? Because when we talk about ourselves, that means when we talk about ourselves, that means about us. Okay, so that gives you more interesting way to learn. Because when I say that you have two eyes, you can just imagine, yes, I have two eyes, right? So when I say something about you, that it is easy for you to just correlate to you. So that is the thing that we are going to mainly understand the reproduction in human beings in this lesson. That is the main intention or agenda of this session. Okay? So now, let us understand what is reproduction then. When I say reproduction, see reproduction. It is reproduction, right? When I say re, what is re? It is re means it is again. Okay. Production means it is producing. What is being produced again? The organisms are producing their offsprings again. So that is reproduction. What is reproduction? The organisms are reproducing their products, that is their offsprings again. So then how can we define a reproduction process? We can define the reproduction as a process where all the living organisms give birth to their young ones which have the similarities between them. This word is very important. Similarities is very important. Why similarities is very important? Because see, when a human being gives birth to its offspring, that is a small baby, right? That small baby is having similarities that a father or mother is having. Otherwise, the basic characters at least remain same. What are the basic characters? See, we are having that human beings, we have two hands, two legs, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 nose, right? The same characteristic, basic characteristics remain same in the offsprings, right? So reproduction is a process where all the living organisms give birth to their young ones, and their young ones which are being reproduced by the parents will have the similarities, right? So this is what, and this is how we can define a reproduction. Now the next question is, I will ask you that whether reproduction is necessary for us to survive. It is very necessary. If we have to live, for example, if we have to see, we have just now we have taken birth, now we are surviving on the earth, right? So if we have to live on the earth, is reproduction necessary? Yes, children, we have to understand this. Suppose if we stop reproducing, see, if we stop reproducing the next generation organisms, then there will be no more species in future. It may be the animals, it may be the human beings, or it may be the plants. But to live, reproduction is not important. See, I have just I have told you that I am present on the earth. I have taken birth and now I am living on the earth. It is not that if I have to live on the earth, I have to reproduce. Without reproducing also I can survive. Without reproducing I can survive. But can you imagine the next generation species? No, right? We cannot imagine the next generation species. Suppose if the next generation species has to be present or it has to be continue, right? Then the reproduction is necessary. It is not compulsory that we have to reproduce, but for continuity of next generation species, the reproduction is very, very important. You have to remember, reproduction is very important to continue the next generation. Okay, so now we have understood what is reproduction, whether the reproduction is necessary. Of course, you all have got an idea that it is necessary that to continue the next generations, but not to survive. If we have to survive, yes, without reproduction also we can survive. Okay, but to continue, it is important that we have to undergo reproduction. That means the organisms have to reproduce. Okay, so this is all about this introduction part of the reproduction. In the next session, let us understand what are the types of reproduction, children. Hope this concept is very clear to you. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel and thank you.